Hello, my name is Devin Young, and I was inspired by the Faithless Christianity series I saw on YouTube to make this series of videos. So this is day 5 of my, Faithless Christianity devotional series. Great stuff, great stuff. A lot of my earlier video, like my 3 earlier videos, I go back and watch my other videos before making them. So I'm going to be taking some walks, and then every time I walk past my townhome, I'm going to go and grab a big swig of tea and then keep walking. Do this for about 10 to 15 minutes and update you guys on what I'm doing. So I made a video yesterday on how Achilles would absolutely destroy John Jones. Like, just destroy John Jones. And it's not even really arguable. I'm walking barefoot right now because it makes my footwork amazing, and people don't do that. And I'm very willing to fight anyone who disagrees with me. If you think that John Jones would beat Achilles, then you have the opportunity, my moronic friend, to debate me and then have a no time limit grappling match against me. And that's going to determine how full of shit you are. Because if you can't win the debate and you can't win the no time limit grappling match, you're probably full of fucking shit now, aren't you, homie? Yeah, you are. And you will lose. Because I'll kick your fucking ass because you don't know shit. And the reason you don't know shit is, I don't know why you don't know shit. Honestly, it's not really much of an excuse. You got a phone. But either way, it's just so dumb to me to even... Like, this isn't even a point that I thought would be contentious, that Achilles beats John Jones. People are bringing up all this stuff about old-timey boxers, and like, old-timey boxers got better. Like, no, they didn't. They didn't get better. They got worse. I would say the golden age of boxing was the peak of boxing. George Foreman came out of retirement and beat the undefeated heavyweight champion at the time. I think he was undefeated. He was either undefeated or 26-1 as Michael Moorer. I think he was undefeated. I think he was like 26-0, 27-0. And George Foreman came out of retirement and beat his ass. And this is just like a brief little... Like, people are so delusional. Like, literally, the people... It's not even arguable that John Jones beats Achilles. It's not even arguable. Achilles destroys John Jones. And people will bring up all these examples. It's like every example people bring up. So they say, like, old-timey boxers were worse. Like, no, they weren't. Jack Dempsey goes into this book. Jack Dempsey goes into this in his book, Championship Fighting, where he talks about how making sports for entertainment destroys their effectiveness as martial arts because it becomes all about making the most money rather than making the best champions. He says it takes a long time to make a good champion, and much of that time is spent not making money off of that champion. And he felt a sense of guilt that he'd ruined boxing. Jack Dempsey felt the sense that he'd ruined boxing because he'd made it all about money. So even the greatest heavyweight fighter of the old-timey era thought they were getting worse. And then 50 years later, George Foreman beats Michael Moorer, proving that they're just getting worse. Modern fighters are getting much worse because it is all about money, because you can just electric scooter around everywhere, and then the dude who's most dissatisfied with the electric scooters goes and like signs up at his local MMA gym and thinks he's such a badass. But like back in the day, the MMA gym was just called the local community. like people think they're badasses for voluntarily going and signing up for this hard thing that they could quit at any point in time. That's not badass. As the first person to recover from the total loss of the ability to sleep, it's called Devon's disease. They mislabel it as Morvan syndrome, anti-NMDA receptor encephalopathy, and fatal insomnia, which just goes to show that they really are just admitting that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, though. because I've actually cured the illness and documented the doing so all over YouTube. And they censor me for it, and I won't shut up anyway. And I'm going to use my tremendous intellect to understand language in a more nuanced way than they could ever fathom and beat the algorithm into submission. Because the algorithm is made of language, and I am made in the image of God. So we'll see who's going to win this. Be Pharaoh versus Moses part 2. And I got my staff. Bring it on, Donkey Kong. You're not going to want this smoke. But anyway, so, like, that's something you can't quit. Like, the reason I figure, okay, I'll put it this way. I am a better sleep scientist than anyone living besides me. I went to the 2026 sleep convention. It's a fact. I didn't achieve that by being able to go home at the end of my shift. I didn't achieve that by having the ability to sleep. I achieved that by having no fucking choice. And when I turned around and I looked at all the people who had a choice, I saw a bunch of 4-year-olds playing in a sandbox. That's it, just a bunch of 4-year-olds in a sandbox. I'm like, wow. You figured they'd like realize there's a world outside the sandbox, but they don't, because they don't have to. Because everyone they know is in the sandbox. They're all in the sandbox together. And that's like the MMA community. It's like you think they'd realize there's a world outside the sandbox, but they don't. They don't realize there's a world outside the sandbox. Andrew and William Tackett, world champions. Zanda and Saulo Ribeiro, world champions. Gracie family, multiple generations of world champions. It's almost like excellent fighting just comes from groups of focused people working together for slightly longer amounts of time than would be monetarily acceptable to someone who only wanted to train a champion to get money. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's an emergent property that's so profound that it fundamentally dictates the nature of this relationship on a fundamentally human level. I mean, at the level of the fundamentally human, this is what produces world champions. And every objection to the fact that those conditions were present in greater quality and quantity in the ancient world is bullshit. Modern nutrition or food's poison. Modern medicine. Like, how is that even an objection? They were lifting stones heavier, or at least as heavy as our modern deadlifts, as our heaviest modern deadlifts, which is insane because a rock is way harder to lift than a deadlift. I deadlifted 550 pounds on the same day that I failed to lift a 300-pound stone. And I've been doing a lot of exercise that day, so like my grips were just kind of burned out in a specific way. But I mean, that just goes to show you, I literally failed to lift a 300-pound stone, like 330-pound stone, and then I went on to deadlift 550 pounds the same day. They were lifting stones. I mean, like, what? How does modern medicine have anything to do with that? How does modern training methods, modern techniques, like they were doing kimuras on ancient Greek pottery. They had all the same techniques. The techniques just emerge out of experience. And every wrestling room has discovered every position in jiu-jitsu, given enough time. They just don't primarily use them all because of the way they train the sport. But the ancient Greeks had boxing, wrestling, pancration. They had MMA. Like they were the first people to do MMA. They were like the first people to do a sophisticated series of wrestling. They invented the Olympics. Like, this is not an argument that Achilles beats John Jones. This is not an argument at all. Achilles destroys John Jones. John Jones is like a cute little fucking hobbyist compared to a civilization whose only goal for thousands of years was to breed the greatest heroes. And then they went on to dominate the entire ancient world. Oh, and by the way, this is the same civilization that produced Alexander the Great. A civilization so successful that it tore itself apart by its own rapidly unchecked expansion. These were people so competent in warfare that they couldn't do anything else but win in war to the point of the destruction of their own empire as victims of their own success as peerless fighters. And then there was the Battle of Halicarnassus, where Alexander's young guard was getting beaten, so the old retired fighters came in and kicked everyone's ass. These were a people who understood how to train so that they got better as they aged, not worse. So our conceptions of their shortcomings in training are so ill-sophisticated as to actually view what they saw as an advantage as a disadvantage, and then completely negate the compound interest of hundreds of years of 50, 60, 70-year-old men who are capable of holding their own, as testified in the Odyssey with Laertes. I mean, it's like, it is the retarded statement of retarded statements to say that John Jones beats Achilles. There's no precedent for it. There's no precedent for it at all. It is the hubristic arrogance. I don't even think John Jones thinks that John Jones is beating Achilles. Does he? Does John Jones think John Jones is beating Achilles? I haven't been getting my tea, but I've just been on a different kind of tea. Not testosterone, but just, I am on testosterone, but I get it from my dealers down south, my two Mexican twins. Got two Mexican twins. So the reason I got two Mexican twins who sell me testosterone is because I got two balls down south. It's two Mexican twins who sell me testosterone. It's two balls down south. Green tea is a great drug, guys. Like, I don't know why people party on anything else. It's just, it's so fucking good. Like, I just sit there and drink green tea all morning and I feel fucking great. No hangovers. It's actually good for you. You don't need to poison yourself to feel good, folks. You could just drink a little tea. It's nice. It's even better when it's hot. But yeah, Achilles destroys John Jones. All these people had to do was wrestle. There was nothing else to do. There was no cocaine. There was no strip clubs. There was no getting arrested for crashing your car. Just imagine a society of John Jones with no cocaine and strong male role models. Like, do you not realize that that's just what that was? It's just insane. And people are like, oh my God, modern. I'm like, what we're doing is a cute homage to the great men of the past. Our Olympic Games is a reference to their Olympic Games, which itself was a reference to the civilization that produced Achilles. Have a great day.